Hey guys, and welcome back to Couch Critics. I'm Lamia.
And I'm Ruby, and today we're reviewing Bikeriders.
Yes, it's the new Austin Butler movie.
I love how it's known for being Austin Butler movie, but Austin Butler had maybe like 10 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah, but like he was in every scene.
Yeah,
But
true.
I do agree that he's kind of like a secondary character in this movie.
I think his role was just to be there and look pretty.
Yeah. I feel like he was still playing Elvis, except the only difference was that he was blonde. But it's like imagine him with his black hair.
Yeah.
Saying the same things and doing the same thing, like not when he's doing stuff, just when he's standing there.
Yeah, I think the voice also, the fact that it's his voice and it was very similar to Elvis's voice.
Was
I think it, yeah. But we can't forget the fact that during the Elvis movie, his voice changed throughout the movie. So I don't know. I don't see the resemblance with Elvis that much, but I don't know.
I was asking about the voice because I watched the movie in French.
Yeah.
So it was translated.
Right.
But I could just tell that he still had his Elvis voice. And yeah.
I think it's gonna be one of those roles that won't leave him. Like a lot of actors when they
think so, yeah. No, I do agree with you. I don't think that it would leave him, and also like he played this larger than life character, and he was so invested in it, and I mean it's Elvis,
right? Elvis, yes.
Yeah, how can you beat that?
No, I think it's very hard to. But yeah, although I have to say it was closer to Elvis in this movie than it was in June. In June he was completely different. I barely even recognized him. But yeah.
But I feel like Dune was like a fun break for him, like where he got to get like a break. But I feel like this character falls into the same range as what he's good at, which means looking tortured and sad. And I feel like he's kind of like fallen into the same Paul Mescal trap, which is to kind of like play characters who kind of have the same aura and like they become predictable. And I feel like it would be great for him to just play a happy character, a funny character, maybe a character with ADHD, like it's a very speedy character.
Is there any movie about a happy character? I can't think of a movie with happy characters.
Who do you think of when you think of happy actors?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
But like she did the Hunger Games. When I think about it, I think we only see her as happy because of her interviews, but not as much because of her movies. She's falling into the comedy category now, but it's very recent. Happy actors. Who's a happy actor? God.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Andrew Scott.
Yes.
He just seems happy.
Yes, although he did have a few movies where he was very tortured as well.
But he was in Fleabag, and I haven't watched the show, but I saw clips of it, and like he was so funny as the priest. Like, yeah. And so I feel like when we watched his movie with Paul Mescal, his character in that movie was very different from like what he's used to do.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. Yeah, now I see
Once again, hire us.
Yes.
As your career strategist. Yes. So, Bikeriders.
Bikeriders. So, it's a movie about bike riders. The end.
It's literally a movie about bike riders who decide to start... I mean, no. Like, if we're honest about what it's about, it's a guy who watched a movie, he heard one line who had nothing to do with bikes, he decided to start a bike club with people who have anger issues and who don't know how to picnic, and yet I don't know what's their thing with picnicking. Like they just go to picnics and start fighting and drinking, and it's like I just don't get it, and I'm so scared of what I'm saying, because like I know a lot of people are so into their bikes, but like I don't get the hype about bikes. Like it's a vehicle, it's a transportation thingy that takes you from place A to place B, but
it's a lifestyle for some people, you know? But yeah, I completely get your point. Yes, so Tom Hardy, who plays Johnny, who's like the chief of this biking gang, watched The Godfather. And
it was The Godfather?
It was The Godfather.
Okay.
And he decided to become the godfather of bikes. To be honest, I loved his role, and I loved the movie. I think it was a very... diluted version of The Godfather. I think that was
okay.
they really washed it down. It didn't feel like The Godfather because you can't try to recreate the It's such a great movie, but I did see sometimes very subtly the similarities and him trying to be Marlon Brando. But yeah, that's it. So he just loved bikes. I have to say, I just loved one scene very much, and it was the scene where they burned down the bar.
Okay.
In that scene, someone had hit Austin Butler. They almost broke his legs, and then to get their revenge, they burned down the bar. Johnny, who's played by Tom Hardy, decided to burn down the bar where this happened with his gang. And in that scene, you could see like him feeling the power for the first time because they didn't try to run away after burning down the bar. They stayed, and then the police officers were still there, and nobody dared to come closer to them or to like make them pay for their actions because they knew that they were a gang. And that's the point where he realized, like, okay, I'm onto something. I can actually turn this into a gang and actually have power. But it's a very nice comparison to Icarus because, spoiler alert, the gang ends up falling apart and most of them end up dead, so, or like with a very tough, like, tragic story. So yeah, I think that was the moral of the story. Don't go too close to the sun or you're gonna burn down. And
I did not get the same message. I did not watch the same movie as you. Like, from what I saw, it was a guy who watched a movie and decided to start a club that had nothing to do with, at least the scene that I saw of the movie. And during the entire movie, like, Johnny's love for the bike was never shown. He just wanted to have friends, I guess, but like, I don't know, like, he had these weird hobbies where he had to, like, he wanted to see them fight to prove to him that he was one of, I don't know, like, it's so twisted and weird, and I don't get it. And it's not, like, it's not the lifestyle's fault, it's the writer's fault, because I don't get why Johnny decided to start a club in the first place. I don't know why Benny is the way that he is. Like, why is he so tortured and sad and depressed? I don't get why the character that's played by Mike Feist, the guy from Challengers, why did he decide to like, write a book about all of this? Like,
I was very confused about that too.
To me, what was shown is a failed attempt to romanticize something that is pure violence. And I don't get it. And I'm not like, like, I don't get bikes, but I don't get tennis too. And when I watched Challengers, I wanted to sign up for tennis classes.
Yeah.
When I watched Whiplash, I wanted to start drumming classes. And it's not about you not getting the hype about something. It's just that some stuff shouldn't be romanticized. And when I was watching this movie, the only thing that I was thinking of, I was like, I could compare their love for biking to, like, my love for horror movies. Imagine if one day I decided to make a movie about romanticizing the beauty of horror. That's how twisted and weird would that be?
That's actually a very interesting call. You should trademark that before anybody.
That's weird. Like, how? I don't know. Like, I feel like some things can't be romanticized. Like, you should just show them as they are. And I don't know. I think this movie didn't know what to do with itself. And they just assumed that having Austin Butler, having Jody Comer, the actor, I think that's her name, I'm sorry if it's not the right one, and Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
They just assumed that having these people as a cast would just, like, carry the movie.
Here's a fun anecdote. I was watching the movie and I sent Lemia a message saying I love that movie, and Lemia got
my expectations were here.
I should stop hyping things up. I do it all the times. I do it with restaurants. I do it with everything, and then people end up getting disappointed.
It was one fail.
I did like the movie. I think it was, but I do get your point. I get the point that because it could have been like, people make movies about loving cars and all of these things, but I think the love for bikes got confused with love for violence, and then it became unnecessary, and love for power as well. But yeah, I don't, maybe it could have been expressed in a different way than with just violence. Yeah. I don't know why I like the movie, but I really liked it, and I still stand by my. I don't know. It was just very nice to watch. I think just put Tom Hardy in a movie, and I'm gonna be sold. I've seen him in Peaky Blinders, and I'm just a huge fan of how this guy can play different roles. So yeah.
How did you feel about the relationship between Jody and Austin Butler? Did you feel like there was any chemistry between them?
Oh, I didn't think like there was any chemistry. At some point, she got mad. She went to Johnny and she said, "I'm his wife," and I was like, "Wait a minute, when did they get married?" I thought she was his situationship at most because it didn't seem like they were married. But yeah.
First of all, I don't think that Jody was like. I don't think that Jody was the right fit to play that character. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I watched her in Killing Eve, where she played a very, very violent, crazy psychopath who would snap at whenever you said anything. And so during the entire time, I was like, but you could snap too. Whenever Austin would say something crazy, I would just wait for her to snap. I did not believe her act as like the girl next door.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe someone like Florence Pugh would have been a better fit for this.
But that's the thing. I think it's also about the era of when this movie was filmed. I think they were trying to show that at that time women didn't have much power, which I think is totally wrong. I think women.
But it's not about the synopsis. It's more about her aura and how, like, ce qu'elle dégage, like the way that she portrayed that character. She didn't seem fragile nor weak. She just seemed like, I don't know, like her character in Killing Eve. And to me, it was hard for me to believe that she cared for Austin, or that she was waited for him for as long as she waited for him. And there was no chemistry between her and Austin. I couldn't see it. And also, like, I do get that they didn't get a lot of scenes, but also when we watched Elvis, he didn't get that many scenes with Priscilla, and I did believe their love for each other because Olivia and Austin had a crazy chemistry together. They had one scene where they were supposed to fall in love, and it was enough to make us all believe that, yeah, he would leave anyone and everything for her.
Yeah, you're making me want to watch Elvis again.
Me too.
Movie night.
Movie nights.
Yeah. No, I see your point. I still don't get, but I think I don't know. I think the whole purpose of the movie was just to look nice and like in an era of time.
When did they look nice? Their shirts were dirty all the time.
It's Jody, Tom Hardy, and Austin Butler, and the guy from Challengers. I forgot his name, but
Mike Feast.
Yeah, Mike Feast. You know what I liked about his role? He just seems so different from the role he played in Challengers, even though to this day I still don't understand what he was doing in that movie. But I think it must have been fun to play it, like to add the mustache, have a camera. It just felt very different.
I don't know if like you watched any of his interviews, but he's literally like that. Like this is exactly how he acts in his interviews. So he was cast as Mike Feast for me.
But I think that's nice. I think that's that, sometimes it's nice to act in order to be something completely different from yourself, but sometimes it's nice to channel yourself and play it in different ways. So
the only character whose storyline was kind of like believable was the kid at the end who killed Johnny.
Yes.
He had a reason to start a group and like start a club and just like look for this fraternity and become violent, because he comes from violence and he chose the path of violence, and it's not justified, but it makes sense for us as an audience. Whereas for all the others, I mean, Johnny had his wife, he had his girls, he had a nice life. Benny, I don't know what he had or what he didn't have.
They
He had
mentioned,
his wife.
yeah, he had his, they mentioned it once. They said that they created this group because it's like there it was a bunch of outcasts, but still it's not a reason to.
They're not. Like when you look at their background, like they're literally not.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just have a hard time seeing what's special about these people, or to just understand their backstory and to understand their all the actions who came after. And I don't know why the other guys who were in the club were so loyal to Johnny either. Why didn't they just try to be leaders? I mean, it's a group of like boys. Like, why is everyone so obedient?
Because one of them tried to fight him and he lost, so I think everybody was scared of him.
I mean, yes, but like,
yeah,
you
no,
know.
I get it. Yeah, I think the movie, if anything, I think maybe the way you said it, and I think you're right. It just lacked history. It lacked a story for each character that would make us actually be more like interested in their story. Besides them just looking good, because I still stand by it.
And obviously, like I'm not talking about bikers in general. Like this is just a critique of like the image that this movie gave of bikers. Like it did not give a positive one. Like if they were trying to make us have empathy for these people, like I feel like it was a failed attempt. And if it was condemning these actions, it wasn't clear at all.
Yeah. I don't think this is the personality of bikers.
I
I
don't
mean, I've
think
seen people
so
on Harley
either.
Davidson, and these are the nicest people ever.
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
Like they're not criminals.
No, not at all. They're actually just very passionate about their jackets and their motorcycle, and that's it. And they go on road trips together, and they like, yeah, no, I don't think
someone should make a movie about this.
I think it would be a very hippie movie with like, but without the aesthetic of hipsters, with the aesthetics of motorcycle. Yeah, it would be a very funny movie.
Yeah.
More ideas. We should start writing.
We should.
Yeah, I think that sums it up.
I think so.
That's our review of Bikeriders. Thank you so much for watching, and
please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.